Previously on Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep, we ended the season, and these people that you're going to hear tonight weren't involved because we're doing a very special listener one-shot. Join me, Gadget, as I take 4 brand new people to the podcast through a little one-shot adventure into a dungeon to see what happens. Welcome to Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep.
Adventure waits on every roll, fighting for our mortal souls through mountains high and dungeons deep. Do dragons dream of Scorched Sheep? Oh, do dragons dream of Scorched sheep?
Hello everyone, and yes, from the intro as you gathered, this is a very special bonus episode before we start Season 2. My name's Gadget and I'll be your DM, and I'm going to introduce you to 4 very, very special, brand new people who knew how to email me to ask if they could play the game. So we are going to start off going around to introduce everybody. Let us start with Robotic Monkey. Introduce who you are and who your character is.
Hello, my character is Leo Lumen Bailey, a half-elf rogue. What else do I need to explain?
What he's wearing, what he looks like, any just random character motivations, anything like that. So, and in fact, while we're doing this, because I forgot to mention, I'm going to share my screen because our lovely, lovely candy machine has done art of you all.
Oh.
So as you can describe your characters, we, the players rather, can see them. You, the listeners, can't see them. If you're a patron, though, you'll get all this artwork. So lovely. Leo Lumen Bailey looks like this.
Oh, I look lovely.
Oh, he's fit.
Yes, describe a little bit about Leo Lumen for me.
Yeah, average build, quite slim, elfish looks. So, as has been pointed out by everybody, quite the looker, charming as I can be all the time. And, I like to steal things.
Ooh, he's a thief. Excellent. We're going to move down to the Modern Escapism D&D rules lawyer that is SmashiusClay.
Good evening. Tonight I'll be playing Mortimer Tillery. Mortimer is a human male in his early 70s, a third-generation smuggler. He will steal anything that isn't nailed down and most things that are along with the nails.
Excellent. I'm starting to see a pattern here. We're then going to go down to M0rdain.
Hello.
Welcome.
I'm playing Mossy Lagoon, the Water Genasi Druid. Green hair and mutton chops and handlebar moustache. Decided that he needs to send a bit of money home, so things are being done that he wouldn't normally have done when he was younger, but he's being a bit more flexible now.
So you mean he's got a stable job?
Well, looks like it now.
And last up, we have SuperNattyCat. Who are you playing?
So I'm playing Lady Scarlet Softpaws the Third. I'm the only daughter to the King and Queen Softpaws, but they were too busy with their own lives. So I was brought up by a very wicked nanny who then wasn't very nice to me. So as years went by, I became to hate my parents, and then they both died. And then I escaped the kingdom as it was taken over and started being just a bit of a badass, really. Not really obeying any rules, making money, not really in a nasty way, just trying to get by. I always have a trusty cigarette in my hand. And I'm just a wheeler-dealer kind of gal, but I don't have any money. I just pretend that I do.
Aww.
And I drink lots of wine.
Excellent. So yes, if you're patrons, we'll provide you with the artwork of these characters. This story is going to take place shortly after the season finale for Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep. So if you haven't listened to that, go and listen to it because I'm going to spoil something that happens at the end of it right now. So this story takes place about a week after the ending of Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep, episode 15. In that, Minerva Periculum, the second part of the triumvirate, an aide to Dane Ashglade, got her hands on the heart of Horus, an incredibly powerful magical focus, arcane focus. And she used that in a fit of madness and power and passion to destroy Movus. And the main party, they got away from it. But a week later, 4 carriages turn up as the Triumvirate have started the cleanup effort in Movus. 4 separate... You all find yourselves each in different carriages approaching the centre of Movus at the same time. So you will all be arriving kind of roughly here at the edge of the market towards where the palace is. Now, normally at any given time, this is a vibrant, very rich part of the city raised up from the slums down below, but now it's a wreck. There are huge cut burn marks throughout it. Most of the buildings have been destroyed. Each of you steps out of your respective carriages and you look up and you see this shattered palace, this enormous palace that was once this glorious white marble creation, this kind of avarice and grandeur that Saidro Goodson had put together. Now just left to ruin, utterly destroyed. There are Triumvirate soldiers and Crown's Guard kind of milling about back and forth, like cleaning up, picking up debris. You've got kind of some people who have just made their way up from what's left of the slums to come in to see if there's anything to steal. They're getting kind of shooed away by soldiers. And it's a generally quite awful and depressing scene. Do any of you have any thoughts as you appear here?
Someone's had a bit of a party, haven't he?
As Mossy shares that singular thought, you all kind of are ushered forward by other guards and soldiers going, come on, we need you up. And you're all kind of pushed and cajoled towards the front, where from a distance across the courtyard, you see Dane Ashglade marching back and forth, bellowing orders at commanders, and you can see people around him are all terrified. But before you kind of get anywhere near him or anywhere near his kind of, shall we say, difficult vibe, one of the commanders kind of, and then he kind of pops towards you, and he's a dwarf. He's wearing sturdy red armor, and you can tell he's one of the commanders because he's wearing a helmet with the most enormous plumage coming off the top of it. It's bigger than he is, and he comes over. Well, are you the new 4, are you?
Yeah,
yes.
That'd be us.
Yes.
Darling, I love your plumage.
Step in line.
Sorry.
Exactly. He looks up at you, Mortimer, and he says, anything you'd want to say?
I'm a professional. I'm here with a job. What would you like me to say?
Hello normally starts.
Not much of a one for pleasantries. So, what is it?
Excellent. I like you. He marches back and forth. Right, well, you 4 have been brought here on probation, and we have got a job for you to do. We need you to head down into Saidro Goodson's archives. See, that fucking horrible bastard was destroyed when Minerva blew up the rest of this place. So, as far as we're concerned, all the weird shit that he's got down in there is ours for the taking. And more precisely, Dane Ashglade's for the taking. And we've got to get here quickly to stop the locals from looting it. So that's what you 4 have been brought here for.
Sounds good.
We've got some priority looting.
Oh yes, priority looting. That's exactly what we need you to do.
Is there anything in particular we're looking for?
I'm glad you asked. I like you. What's your name?
Bailey.
Excellent, Bailey. Top of the class you are. And he reaches into his armor kind of roughly, and he pulls out a little scroll and comes up and says, amongst other things, there are 4 things that we're looking for, or that the boss wants. And as he kind of points over his shoulder, you see that Dane Ashglade's currently just holding a guard by the lapel and just slapping across his face. He's clearly upset with something he's found. He says, right, take note of this. We're looking for a magical key that can open untold numbers of locks, the Ring of Winter, which apparently makes
I have a question.
Yeah.
Should I be writing any of this down?
Is that a question for the character or for me?
Both.
No, I'll keep you going. Yes, you should be fucking writing it down.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So he repeats it. Magical key, the Ring of Winter. It's legendary Supposed to be here somewhere, or at least it was last seen here. There are several parts of the Rod of 7 Parts. If you know about this thing, it's incredibly powerful. If you find any number of the bits of it, don't put them together. You need to be a very expert use of magical items to use that one. The last thing, I think the boss particularly wants this one because he said if we don't get it, I'm going on the spike. It says, a golden phylactery.
A golden what now?
Phylactery.
Is it worth a lot?
Priceless, it would seem. If you're not aware, a phylactery is something a lich uses to hold a soul.
So they can't die.
Because he can't die, exactly.
Mortimer looks up from a small leather-bound notebook he's been making careful notes in with a pencil. How many parts of the Rod of 7 Parts?
We know of at least 3 parts are here. Might be more. If you can get 3, that's great. And he kind of looks you over. Any questions?
If we find anything else, is that fair game?
Sure.
Sounds perfect.
I have a question. Are we getting paid?
Now, you see, that's the difficult thing, because you're all on probation. So, we could just keep with your normal salary. We could kill you right here. Or you could go back to jail.
I'll take the normal salary.
Thought you would. And he turns around and he goes, right, come on. And he starts ushering you towards the entrance to the Broken Palace.
Come on in, guys. Let's follow him. Let's see if we can find something interesting.
So as you walk into the palace, the way the palace is laid out, it was a large square building which had a kind of entrance hall that was jutting off the front of it. So you would walk through the entrance hall, through a narrow hallway, and then into the large square palace. He leads you into the entrance hall, and on Roll20 we'll change the map over, and you see that this once grand room is utterly smashed in. At some point, one of the fire beams that Minerva was firing has cut straight through from southwest to northeast, cut straight through the building. Can everyone make me a perception roll, please?
11.
What do I do? What do I do?
So on the D&D Beyond app, go into your skills.
Skills.
Yes, and just tap on perception.
Skills.
I've rolled a 17.
17.
Which dice do I roll?
The D20. So it's that one.
I told you I haven't done this before.
It's fine.
I'm
It's
such a
fine.
virgin.
It's fine.
The
First time in my life.
The icosahedron.
I have rolled an 11.
11. Mossy, what did you get?
Mm-hmm.
Marcy got a 16.
And Mortimer?
11.
11. So Leo and Mossy, you both recognize this place, or at least you've heard of this place before, and as you kind of look up, you notice that there should have been 2 dragon skeletons hanging from this ceiling, and as you kind of look down, you can see, no, they're just all over the place. So Saidro Goodson is part of his collection. One of his prize parts of the public bit of the collection he used to show was he had 2 perfectly preserved dragon skeletons, which he had hung from the ceiling of his entrance hall for guests and royalty to walk under, to show off how wealthy he was and how impressive a man he was, clearly. But as the beam had kind of cut through everything, they have been dropped to the ground, they have been shattered, a chandelier has landed on top of them, there is glass and there is bone and there is detritus everywhere as you walk in.
Are there any teeth left in the dragon skulls?
Roll me an investigation check.
Investigation. That would be an 11.
An 11. You find a tooth just lying on the ground. You don't get close enough to the head of one of them to really investigate, but you find one's clearly broken off as it's fallen to the ground.
Right, I'll hold on to that. I know some people who might make good use of a nice dragon's tooth.
So he leads you past the wreckage, kind of towards the north of the building, heading up. And over in the kind of the back corner, there is a statue that has been moved out the way. A statue that I forgot to put into the map, so you'll imagine that it's there. But a statue that was supposed to be there. And the statue was just of a nondescript godlike creature. Not one any of you happen to recognize, just something that just looked fabulous that he had there. But as it's been pulled out the way, a trapdoor has been found underneath. And as you kind of peer over the top of it, Dane Ashglade walks in behind you. What have you found? What have you found, everybody?
Nothing. There's nothing here. Nothing at all that I can see.
And he
That's
just kind of brushes past you, Scarlet, as he kind of walks towards the back corner where kind of men are pulling the statue out the way, and he kind of peers over the top of this trapdoor. Well, so this is where you keep your private collection, is it, Saidro? And he looks back at you. You four. Are you the ones here to do the investigation?
Yes, that's us. How can we help?
Okay. It's very simple. We need you to go down there. Saidro was a very tricksy man. We've got men trying to break through all this rubble here, trying to get through to the main building. And we know there are a great trove of treasures. In there. Say that quickly. I've been here before. I've seen it. I got my eye on quite a lot of things here that can really push the triumvirate forwards. But down here, I don't know what's down here, which is where you four lucky people come in. You're going to go down there and you're going to investigate for me. Is that clear?
Understood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I understand. Yeah.
Excellent. So, you should be aware, Saidro was a very paranoid man. So you may expect some resistance down here, be it through mechanical or magical nature. We're not quite sure what he was capable of. Kept his cards very close to his chest. He would show off a lot, but he kept a lot back. I mean, we only just discovered in another building that he had a live dragon. I thought they were all deceased. Well, it was a live dragon anyway. It's got a massive hole in it. God knows how that happened. Are there any more questions? Oh, I'm very busy here. We need to get going.
No, that should cover everything.
I think we understand. Yeah.
It's fabulous, darling.
And he looks at you again. Scarlet goes. Ugh, he kind of walks off. So, what do you want to do from here? Do you want to go down to the hole, or do you want to investigate any further?
Do you mind if I have a look around the room, just to see if I notice anything sort of out of place, or being the light-fingered person, if there's anything pocket-sized that I could make disappear?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Roll me an investigation check.
While he's doing that, Mortimer will go and inspect the statue.
That's a 9.
That's a 9. No, you don't find anything, Leo. Okay. And Mortimer, an investigation check.
That's a 15. 15.
You look at the statue and you put your hand on it, and it feels cold to the touch, but then you just push slightly, and it cracks. You go, oh, this is a forgery. A rather cheap one at that. Which is why none of you can recognize which deity it happens to be. It's just a fancy-looking statue. It's as if he went to TK Maxx and just bought a statue for the garden.
I would have thought he would have gone for the real thing, considering he shows off so much.
So,
can I do something?
Yes, absolutely. What would you like to do?
So as that bloke is just walking off, can I maybe go over to him, tell a very sob story about my ex-husband that's just died? I killed him, but my ex-husband that's just died. Can I, as I'm telling him a sob story, can I maybe try and pick his pocket?
Okay. Ooh, you're getting advanced here. Right, okay. So you're going to have to tell this story. And you're going to need to roll me, first of all, a performance check.
Okay, now. Right. What is that?
So, performance. That's
okay, so throw that.
So throw the D20, yeah.
I've got a 14.
14, okay. And then roll me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, no, I don't think I'm very...
I really hope you are good at that. You're a thief.
Look, I see something.
Actually, no, you're a sorceress, so that's fine.
Okay. I've rolled a 20.
Oh, ooh, very nice.
So, and my sleight of hand is a +3.
Oh, so 23. Okay. So, Dane Ashglade is about to get to the door, and you kind of totter over to him and get his attention. What is the story that you tell? He turns around and looks at you. What is it?
Darling.
Yes?
I just bought some new heels. My husband died. He died because he fell down a cliff. And
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Thank you. That means a lot. So he died. He left me some money, and he said, darling, if you're going to do anything with this money, you're going to buy some shoes. So I bought these shoes, and I believe, personally, that the soul of my husband is in these shoes. So I don't really want to go down the hole. But if you would be so kind, could you escort me out of the building and we can go and we can just have some wine somewhere?
And he turns to you and looks and says, no, you're here to do a job, but my sympathies are with you. And he kind of reaches into his pocket and he kind of hands you a gold piece and goes, here, just take this, buy some wine when you're finished. Leave me alone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I will leave you alone. And your empathy means a lot to me.
And you, from your pickpocketing, and I'm just going to roll a random loot on here. You managed to get an ornate gold ring etched with silver, worth 4 gold pieces.
Thank you.
Okay, well, that's a good start. That's the closest anyone's got to Dane Ashglade instantly in this entire podcast.
Does Mortimer notice her picking his pocket?
Roll perception for me.
That is a 16.
16. Yeah, you notice it.
Mortimer waits for her to come back and sort of very gently puts a sort of fatherly hand on her shoulder, just sort of slightly lean on her. His back is hurting her. Leans in and just very quietly says to her, my dear, when working as a professional, it's best not to pick the pockets of the man with all the armed guards. Just be careful.
Darling, I'm a professional. I've done this before. He wasn't my first husband. He was my 7th.
Excellent.
Mortimer smiles, nods to himself, and resolves to keep an eye on her.
It's a wise move, Mortimer. It's a wise move. So you climb into the you climb down the hatch, and there is a ladder that goes down. It's seen better days, but you know what? It's fine. It's absolutely fine. You walk down a small corridor with kind of damp, slightly mossy walls. And you find yourself in a circular room.
I don't do well with mossy floors. Someone's going to have to carry me.
What's wrong with a nice bit of moss? Nature's carpet.
Yeah, but you're going to say that, aren't you? You're just covered in moss.
Right, I likes a bit of moss, being as I'm mossy.
Right, and so if you head over to Roll20, you will see yourself in a circular room at the beginning of the dungeon.
Ooh.
So when you walk into this room, you see that there are 8 lanterns on. It's a perfectly circular room. At the far end from you as you walk in, there is a door, and in front of you there are 2 statues. Have a look. See what you can find.
As soon as we enter the room, Mortimer holds a hand out towards the group, very slowly and carefully with one hand on his knee tries to crouch down, sort of manages it with some creaking and cracking noises, and starts looking very carefully at all the flagstones in front of him, looking for anything that looks like it will move or any tripwires or other traps he can spot.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
16 plus... So, 19.
You are entirely confident in the floor here. There is nothing that is likely to move.
Can I take one of my high-heeled shoes off and throw it at one of the statues as hard as I can?
Sure, go for
See if it does anything.
Roll your d20. We're going to roll an attack roll here. So we'll take this as just... equivalent of an unarmed strike, so it'd be 11 plus 1.
Oh, okay. So 12.
12. Okay, so you throw the high heel. Do you want to pick a statue? There's 2 of them. There's one. They're basically both the two creatures looking at each other.
I'll take the one that looks the most nasty, aggressive one.
Okay, so that would be the most northerly one. So you throw that, and it bounces off harmlessly and lands on the floor next to you again.
Okay. And I put the shoe back on because my deceased husband's soul is in it.
Could I step up to the statues and have a look and see if there's anything that I notice about them that, I don't know, might look suspicious?
Right, okay. Yeah, sure. So if you go up to them, and I'll give you this one without a perception check, but it is a statue of a Medusa and a human. The human is holding a key in his hand. The key is made of stone.
Now, did he say what sort of key we had to look for? Or was it just a key?
He just said a key. There was no more information than that, was there?
Is the key, was the key heavy? Did he say it was a big key?
He said it was a magical key that could open many locks.
Doesn't really seem like that would be a stone key. Should we try picking it up?
Well, there's no harm in it, is there?
Okay.
You go ahead, darling. You have a go.
Well,
you try
before I pick it up, can I have a look around the key to see if it looks like it might be trapped in any way?
Yeah, sure. Roll a investigation check.
Investigation. Okay, that is a 17.
17. You look over the key. It's a heavy key, but you also notice that it is basically fused to the man's hand.
Okay, well, this key doesn't look like it's going to move. I'm not sure this is the key we're looking for right now.
Well, we'll make a note that it's there.
Excuse me, a little help over here. Looking back, you realise that Mortimer is actually still stuck there and doesn't appear to be able to get back up again.
Okay, I'll step back and help out.
He sort of grabs you by the shoulder and gently leaves himself out about to stand. Oh dear, my lumbago, being away from the coast. I mean, that's one of them Medusa, isn't it? Heard stories about them. Ain't they supposed to turn things to stone?
I thought if they look at you, yes.
Well, it seems to be looking at our other statue, and we got a key there that's stone. Seems almost like a clue.
That's a possibility.
Well, how do we turn it back from stone into whatever it was before?
Well, that's going to be someone with a bit more powerful magic than me, I'm afraid.
Mortimer walks up to one of the statues and starts looking at the base. He's looking for sort of drag marks, or if it looks like you'd be able to move or reposition any of the statues.
Okay. You'll find no drag marks or anything like that. The statues basically exist in this place together.
Can I have a look and see if the key moves at all?
Yeah, roll another investigation check.
Okay. That's a 14.
14. You can get a little bit of wiggle in the key, but it's pretty well held in place. But you can tell it's separate to his hand. Like it was not something that had been carved together.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Well,
what is the human of? So
you've got the Medusa, and then you've got just a human who's kind of leaning back, looking scared, holding the key.
Can I get a mirror out of my makeup bag and see if I can hold that in front of the? Can I try it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So which direction is the mirror facing? Is it facing the Medusa?
Medusa itself.
Okay, so you hold up the mirror and you see the stone on the human start to crack, and as you kind of pull it away, the stone kind of fuses back together again.
Okay, do you think there's anything in the room that we could use to block one statue looking at the other? Can we try and turn this Medusa statue?
What I can do is I can scoop up this moss here and I'll put it over her head.
Can I have a look around the room to see if there's anything that I could use to block between the two of them? Or
sure,
if there's not, I'm more than happy to go with the moss helmet.
I don't even have to touch her. And I just sort of move my hand and scoop up a load of dirt and moss in the distance and lift it up.
Okay. Leo, there is nothing else in the room. It is the only objects in the room are the 8 torches, yourselves, and the 2 statues.
Oh, there's no moss. What are you going to do? That's really sad. Got no moss.
He did just walk down a very mossy corridor.
All right, I'll turn around.
Oh, he's brought it with him.
And I'll scoop up the moss from behind me. And I'll move it over using my mold earth cantrip.
Oh, yeah.
And I will plop it on her head.
And you watch as the moss kind of slowly kind of crosses down over her eyes, and the statue the statue of the man starts to glow, and he kind of like steps back. Just get away from me! What? What's going on? Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Benton. I used to work. I work here. Wow, it's gotten really decrepit down here.
Well,
How
Benton,
long have I been out?
There's some good news and there's some bad news. The good news is you're not dead. The bad news is you might have been down here for quite a lot longer than you think you might have been.
How long? What?
Well, HR is...
Actually, Mossy, roll me a history check, because as part of your skills, you're probably going to be able to work out how long that moss has been there for.
Ooh, history. Okay.
About the closest thing I could think of for that.
That or nature. Ooh, is that a 1 or a 20? That's a 20, that's all right. 21.
21. So you know precisely this moss has been growing for 5 years, 3 days, and 44 minutes.
Oh, well, I'm afraid HR has sent us, and they've said that you've been absent from your post for over 5 years, and I'm afraid they're going to have to let you go. Can you please return all business property to us?
I need to speak to Saidro, and he just kind of like hands out the keys. Is this what you want? Just
yes,
take it.
Thank you very much. Just
kind of,
back down this way, first left.
And he kind of like just kind of holds his head as he's kind of like, oh, kind of like, it's almost like he's had the worst hangover in existence cumulatively put on top of his head. And he kind of walks in, and you hear just this very sad thunk, thunk, thunk as he climbs the ladder. And then from the distance, where the fuck are you? From people upstairs. And a little bit of a scuffle on top. So Benton is not having a good morning.
Poor Benton.
But we've got a key.
You have a key. So, yeah, I would all advise you as well to move away from the Medusa, because the moss is starting to slide off her face. And if you're caught by its sight, you know what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to step behind the statue if that's okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to move you all over here, out of its sight. Mossy, you're just going to sit through a wall because roll 20's crap.
He's in the moss.
So I'll just
with the moss.
I'll lean against the wall and just drip down it a bit.
Okay, so yes, you have a key now.
How big is the key? Are we talking like...
About a 6-inch long kind of grand door key that you would expect at like a cathedral.
Nice.
Okay, well that's wonderful things done.
Yeah. Can I investigate it with my Arcana or something?
Yeah, you do an Arcana check, by all means.
What is that? What's an Arcana check?
Magic check.
Magic. Sort of.
I could do one of them. Can I do one of them? Or is that
anyone can do one of them.
Mossy?
It's all dependent on your skill as to whether you can actually tell anything.
Well, 16.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh, yeah, I've got that.
You have.
16 did you get?
I did.
16, so you hold the key in your hand, you kind of look it over, and it's got a reasonably strong magic energy coming from it. And as you kind of turn in the general vicinity of the door at the end of the room, you just hear a click from the lock, and it kind of opens slightly. So it's like, that's your magic key.
I can understand why they want this one. Well, it might be handy down here, so definitely hold on to it until we get out of here.
Excellent. So,
can I put the key in my handbag, please?
Yes, who wants to carry it?
Yes, can I carry it, please? I don't trust these people with the key. Especially Mossy. He's going to get covered in moss.
Well, I pass you a rather damp key. As my skin does just sort of drip.
I'll dab it off on my front and put it in my handbag.
Excellent. So as the door opens, you get a view in of the next room ahead of you, which is a small warehouse room. And as you move through, you move down like a small set of stairs. And you find basically it's got 12 cases in it, stocked with random bric-a-brac. You can't really see what's in there. They're all in boxes. Crates line the floor, crates line the side of it, and there's a few lanterns keeping it lit, but there's not really much light in here.
I'm sure, this is off the record, I'm sure I can do something where I can make a fire. Can I make a fire?
I don't know. What spells have you given yourself?
What cantrips do you have?
I don't
Firebolt.
know. How do I find that
So yes, the last thing you asked, Nat, was if you had anything to let on some light. Okay, so
we've made another decision on that. We're going to make someone's going to go back.
Yeah, I'd like to go back into the other room and see if I can take one of those torches off the wall.
Yeah, sure. So you walk back into the previous room. You look at the torches on the wall. There are fixed sconces there. So if you want to roll me a strength check and see if you can break one off.
That I'm going to come unstuck there. I'm not the strongest.
Well, Mossy, go do your bit. You're a big lad.
You got a -2 on strength. I rolled. I rolled a 6, so that's a 4.
Okay, so you grip onto the sconce and you pull at it, and nothing comes, and you kind of put your second hand on, and you kind of pull even harder, and realize you're lifting yourself off the ground. You kind of drop a little bit dejected.
Come on, then. I'll give you an hand, and I'll grab hold of your waist while you're holding it and pull down.
While watching them do this, without a single word and quite quietly, Mortimer just takes his pack off his back, takes out a torch, takes out a tinderbox, and just lights it. Stands behind them, watching this just comedy show going on.
Mossy, do you want to give me a strength check with advantage? Because you've also got the weight of Leo with you.
No. 7 and 9. So 9 was my strongest one.
Okay, so the two of you are a comedy of errors trying to get this sconce off the wall. You've got Leo kind of hanging there. You've got Mossy kind of grabbed onto his waist, just kind of like pulling and pulling and pulling. And these torches, they're not moving. The flame isn't even flickering.
Well,
and,
I could see in the dark. Let's go back and see if they've got any other smart
we're going to have to.
Have you got dark vision anyway?
We'll need to sort something. Oh, where'd you get that one from?
I brought this with me. Did you not think to bring torches? No? Nobody. Okay, never mind. Anyway, here we go. Hands you a torch.
Oh, I do have a torch. I've also got a very trusty crowbar.
Is it covered in moss?
No, I keep that one a bit cleaner. I don't want to leave my rope on the other hand. That's getting a bit damp.
It's a bit ropey.
Oh,
red card. Sorry.
Do I give everyone psychic damage after that one?
No.
Okay, so yeah, so as we described before, you're in a room full of racks and boxes. It's an all-purpose kind of storage room. Doesn't appear to be anything that's worth kind of displaying, but it seems to be a place where things that are just either required easy access is there.
I reach into my pockets and pull out as I have some damp moss, and I just sort of rub it into my eyes, and I sort of stand there for a few minutes, just contemplating, and I ritually cast Detect Magic.
Ooh, very nice. You don't detect any magic at all in here.
Well, we can't detect any magic.
Okay.
Maybe not from the whole room. I'll have a walk around and have a look.
Before you walk around, it might be an idea to check that there's not any traps or anything that could trip you over. Can I check for that, please?
Why,
yes.
Of course you can.
So give me an investigation check.
Investigation. That's a 22.
22? Ooh. You do detect a trap. And you detect a tripwire in the very center of the room.
Okay, well, I'm going to let everybody know.
Between two cases, there is just a single trap there.
Can I throw my shoe at the trap, please?
I don't recommend setting off a trap. Generally, bad things happen when you do that. Perhaps we just leave this one alone.
We can walk round at least, around the sides.
Yeah, there are paths around the side. You can walk around.
Oh, so it's not like it's going to go, and then I can stand
No.
back
It's just between the center ones. Think of it as like think of it as like the first line trap, just to stop any kind of raiders.
Can you see what sort of trap do you think it is?
Sure. Can I step up closer and investigate with? Have a closer look at it.
I'll give it to you with that really high investigation check anyway. As you kind of peer down to it, you can see it is a tripwire, and there is a crossbow at head height in the in one of the shelves.
Okay, well, does anybody have use for a crossbow?
I probably could, because I'm not very strong. I can't do an awful lot. So I will have that crossbow.
Okay.
Is there a way
How
of
easy
getting
is
it
it to
down?
disarm the trap?
Yeah.
Give it a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. A 16.
16. You just kind of reach over and you just kind of remove the cable that leads down to the tripwire, and you pull the bolt out of it, and then you just fire the trigger so it untensions, and you pull it out of the bootcase. So yes, Scarlet now has a crossbow
with one bolt.
And yes, no, we'll say in the interim kind of investigation, you find also kind of like 8 other bolts. So she has 9 bolts.
9 bolts with my crossbow. I'm going to write that down.
Yes, you should.
That's some good shit.
It's very.
I also forgot to write down how much money I pickpocketed out of that dude's hand earlier.
You got a gold ring worth 4 gold, and he gave you a gold piece to go away.
Okay. So 5.
As a side note, you'll be better at hitting with the crossbow, but your cantrips will do more damage.
Ooh, good shout. Thank you very much.
So does anybody else want to investigate in here? Anyone want to look for anything else around?
Mortimer
Are we able to get in any of the... Sorry, you go ahead, sorry.
Mortimer starts carefully ruffling through the shelves, keeping an eye out for anything that looks booby-trapped, but trying to get an idea for what's been stored in here.
So yeah, roll a investigation.
That is a 16.
16. So you find there's a mix of things here. So there are some things of kind of just generic papers. Some of them are kind of deeds to property. Some of them are receipts for things. Some of them are... one of the cases is basically just general your junk receipt drawer kind of thing. You move over to the next one and you find some smattering of kind of gold pieces, a couple of bits of kind of rolled up artwork, nothing that you think is particularly valuable. In the third one, you find a collection of diaries of various nobility over the years from the entire of kind of Welbeck. Some rather scandalous stuff, some stuff that may go, ooh. And you also find a small lockbox with a handful of jewels in it.
Do any of those jewels happen to look anything like a ring that we might be looking for?
No, they're pure jewels. They're not jewelry.
Ah, cool.
So they're like gemstones.
Mortimer waves it in front of his group. Well, found some stuff that's valuable. I'll keep hold of it. Notice that I told you whenever I find things. I'm a professional. Don't keep things to myself.
Most appreciated.
Doesn't look like there's anything else of value here. I suggest we start moving on, unless any of you found anything.
Does anyone else want to investigate?
I'm going to look... Oh, sorry, you go first.
No, what I was going to say, is there anything else, if you've already looked through all of the shelves and you've not really noticed anything, is this just really, set up as a trap to stop people from casually walking through from one place to the other?
Seems like a storage room. Nothing much of value in here. Some paperwork, a few bits and pieces, but nothing like what we're looking for.
Well, we don't want to hang around too long, and as you said, you've had a nice look through. Shall we keep on moseying down to the next room?
Yeah, but let's press on.
Could I have a very, very, very quick look at the scandalous papers? I'm all over a scandal, so I would like to have a look and see if there's anything of value that I could know for the future that might help.
Okay, so roll me an investigation.
I got a 19.
19. So you look through, and most of it is just kind of annoying little chitter-chatter, just this person sleeping with this person had an affair here.
I love that.
Secret families, that kind of thing. But you do find one of particular interest, which is where you find that the current Prince Regent of the neighbouring country, Morin, has apparently been caught having an affair with King Roland of Welbeck's daughter. And it could be the precursor to war, because King Roland is a very jealous man and does not like his daughter being philandered with.
Well, nobody likes being philandered with, darling.
So yes, you can keep that in your back pocket for later.
I will. That's going straight in my handbag. Thank you very much.
Excellent. So as you all move out of the room, you come to a T-junction through a corridor. And at the very kind of end of the T-junction, as you walk down the corridor, closer and closer becomes this rather large painting of Saidro Goodson, a rather handsome human man with a red sash and a white tunic on a kind of one hand inside the buttons, looking as smug as humanly possible. And you've all heard stories of Saidro Goodson. He's rather famous across the entire country. You know that he keeps a collection. The man can't keep it in his pants. He is just a kind of... He's a very generous man, but he's a very greedy man at the same time. And for all that for he's outwardly kind of charitable and lovely and loving of the ladies and the men, everyone in the nation kind of always suspects there is a slight dark side to him. But he is rather famous. So you now have a choice of left or right.
Can I look down each of them and see if I can spot anything from stood at the T-junction?
So if you stand at the T-junction and you look down either way, you see on the left path a corner, and on the right path a corner.
Anybody have any particular strong feeling as to which direction we head in?
Well, I take out a little silver coin. Why don't we task for it? Anyone got any complaints with that?
Fine by me.
All right.
What did you say was down either end of the T-junction? Just an end.
Just as you're standing in the T-junction, you look down, you can just see a corner at either end.
All right then. Heads left, tails right. Here we go. Heads. That's left.
Heads. Left. Okay. So as you head left, you can hear the sound of movement.
Okay, well, there's definitely something moving down there. Are we far enough to the corner yet that we can see round the corner?
So, yes, I would say, Scarlet, roll me a perception check because you're leading the pack.
Okay. Oh Christ! How did I end up doing that?
Just by the order of you walking down the corridor.
Oh dear, it's not very good. It's 11.
11. So you can definitely hear something and kind of hear some little mumbled voices that don't particularly sound human.
Do I know? I speak a few languages. Do I know what they're saying?
Also, I'll give you a bit more because you're kind of at the corner and you peer around. It's a little bit dark, but you can kind of just see a little bit, and you start to see like kind of the room is kind of trashed. It's wrecked. Can you hear what they're saying? You can kind of hear, give me that, fuck you, go away, that kind of thing. It's multiple voices as well.
Can we pick out what language it is? I speak Goblin.
Then you can hear exactly what they're saying.
Okay, can I listen in?
You will need to get a little bit closer.
Okay.
So roll me a stealth check.
Ooh, stealth. That is a 17.
17, okay. So, with your stealth check, you will move forward and kind of hide behind some tattered boxes. And you will see that there is a enormous kind of, probably from Minerva's attack, enormous gash cut out of the wall. And there are 5 goblins that are kind of wandering around, kind of tracing and trying to see what stuff they can find and they can loot and pillage. You don't even need to roll investigation or perception here. You can see that there is nothing of value left here. This has been thoroughly pillaged over the last week. You can feel the cold air coming in from outside. But the goblins are kind of rooting around, and anytime someone thinks they've found something, another one goes over and kind of whacks him over the head to try and see what it is, see if it's better for himself and that. They're not saying anything of any particular consequence, just that they're just looting and looking for stuff.
Okay, can I relay this to the rest of the group without making any noise, or
with that stealth roll, I'll say yeah.
Okay, so
you give them some fancy elven sign language.
So what's the plan? Are we going to take these guys out, or are we just going to leave them be?
I'm just going to say that I'm not going to do very much. I'm just going to sit back and let all you guys take over.
I think you've got to earn your keep, Missy.
My keep is that you guys do all the legwork, and I'll do the talking. So
while this room has been looted thoroughly, it could well be that the contents of this room are in the pockets of those guys, and that could be something that we need.
Now you're talking my language.
That
sounds good.
Is there another exit at the other end of the room? Or is it just the hole?
It's basically the hole that leads back outside.
So we don't really need to go and get involved in that. But they do have stuff in their pockets, so...
But you don't know that they have stuff in their pockets. They might have stuff in their pockets.
Might. Not very good looking, the goblins, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well,
goblins.
as much as I don't like fighting, we were sent down here with the express purpose of picking up some things that could well be in possession of these 5 guys. What do you think? Who fancies a fight?
Well, we've come here and we might as well flex our muscles, or some of us can.
Mortimer?
I don't fancy a fight, but I've been paid to do a job. These guys are in the way, well, maybe they need to be gotten out of the way.
Okay, then.
I'll join in, but only under the condition that we think that there's stuff in their pockets. So there better be stuff in their pockets. So I'll join in.
Okay, so at this point they haven't noticed you. So if anyone has any stealth abilities, now would be the time to try and use them.
What might they be?
So, so rogues have certain abilities. You can get stealth attacks, that kind of thing. So if
Yeah.
anyone has any abilities like that,
I get sneak attack once per turn.
you could try and use sneak attack if you want.
Okay, well, if everybody's with me and you're all okay with me doing it, I'm going to do sneak attack on the closest one to me. Which is, I think I just literally get to roll 2d6.
You've got to roll to hit, though.
Oh, okay.
Is there any use in me? I've got poison spray. Is there any use in me poisoning them first?
You
Just as general advice, these are so low level, I wouldn't waste a spell slot on them.
poison spray's a cantrip.
I didn't know that a
Oh, is it a
spell
cantrip?
slot was a thing. So
Okay, if it's a cantrip, then yeah, you can use it if you want. But
yes, it's one of them.
Oh, okay. So I think, what is the range on poison spray?
15
10 feet?
or 10 feet.
10 feet. So you'll need to get much closer to them.
Oh no, fuck that then.
Yeah, you would need to be around here.
Okay, in that case, I have a bow with me. I'm going to try and do a sneak attack on the one closest to me. Do I have to
So
roll to
that
hit?
would probably be this one. Yes, you'll have to roll to hit.
That's an 11.
An 11. Oh, shit, what is their AC? Don't think it's that low. No, that doesn't hit.
Bugger.
So you stand up, you pull the string back, you let the arrow go, and it twangs into a crate next to the goblin. He says, Humans! Humans, get them! Get them! And everyone roll for initiative. So, Scarlet, if you roll a d20, and we'll work out your position in the turn order.
I rolled 19, but what am I looking for? Initiative.
Initiative, yeah. So you will get a bonus to initiative as well.
Oh, I get a bonus on initiative.
Initiative. I can't find initiative. Where's initiative? Oh, +3. 22.
17 plus 2 is 19.
Okay.
And I got 17.
Mortimer's lumbago is
Someone else?
playing up, so he's probably going to be going last. He got a 4.
Oh, bless him. Poor Mortimer. Okay, so who got 22? Sorry, was that Leo?
Me.
All right. Okay.
My funky ass dice. Look at these. Woo.
30.
So pretty. I'm so addicted to these dice already.
Yeah, it's a sickness.
It really is.
So why are we doing initiative? What does that
So
tell us?
this is to work out the turn order. What did you get, Mossy?
Mossy got 17.
Okay. Okay, so the turn order is going to be Scarlet, Leo, Mossy, the 5 goblins, and then Morty. So, start off, Scarlet, you are leading off the charge now.
You're going to have to help me here because I have no idea what
Right.
I'm doing.
Okay, so when you look at your character sheet,
Yes.
you have a walking speed. That dictates how far you can move in a turn.
30
So
feet.
yours is 30 feet.
Yeah.
Each square on roll 20 is 5 feet.
Okay.
So if you wanted to go up and say attack a goblin hand to hand, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, you could walk straight up to him.
My hand-to-hand's a bit shit because I'm not very strong.
Okay, so if
Cool.
you want, but you're a sorcerer, so you can use magic instead.
Okay.
So you would still need to get closer to them. Most of
Okay.
your spells, I believe, have a short. Well, for instance, you could stay where you are and cast Firebolt. That's a cantrip,
Okay.
120 foot.
Okay.
To do attacks, you roll the d20. You also have a little bonus on there. And then if you hit, then you roll for damage using whatever dice it tells you to. So, for example, in Firebolt, it's a D10.
Okay.
So, but you can. So each turn you can basically move and have an action. Action can be an attack. It can be to disengage from combat. It can be to just do something in the world. Like if you want to look and see if you can find a weakness on an enemy, that would be an investigation check, which would be an action. Anything like that.
Okay. I'm going to have to consult my team of idiots to do that. So, what does everybody think I should do?
Well, it depends if you want to lean into your magic, then you can throw a firebolt, or if you want to use your fancy new crossbow, and that depends if you can. I don't know if you have proficiency in that.
She can use
I
it.
don't want to break my nails with the
proficiency,
crossbow.
So
No,
wouldn't
that's
recommend
not
it.
on the table. I'm going to use Firebolt because I can stand as far back as possible.
Sounds good.
Keep my dress
Okay.
nice and clean, so I'm going to use Firebolt.
Okay, so roll your d20 and add 2 to it because you get a +2 bonus on it.
But 17, so if I add 2, it's 19.
17 plus 2 is 19, so that does hit. That beats their armor class. So
Okay.
then if you roll a d10, that will tell us the damage. And
Which
also I need you to
shape
tell
dice is that one?
it's like a
10-sided.
It's a dodecagon.
10-sided dice. It's kind of like
There's
a.
two the same.
Oh, I got it. It looks
it,
like a dreidel. I got it.
So which out of the 5 goblins are you attacking, incidentally?
The one that's furthest away from me.
One's furthest away from you. Okay, so that's the
Yeah.
one closest to the exit.
Yeah,
Okay, so-
I'm going to have him.
Okay, what damage did you do?
1.
Oh,
Plus
1.
plus 5, but 3. I did 3.
You did 3 overall, did you?
Yes, 3 overall. Sorry.
No, you just hit a 1. You don't get a bonus on the damage on your fire.
Oh, what? Okay, I just did a 1.
So you just did a 1. So the one at the back, he's turning around, and the others are kind of prepping to charge. And just as he turns around, this little streak of fire flies over the top of his compatriots and whacks him straight between the eyes. It doesn't kill him. He's like, what the? And he's kind of taps at his forehead trying to put the fire out.
Good. That is
And
good.
next up will be Leo.
Okay, I'm going to fire my short bow. Again, at the one I tried to hit last time.
Yeah.
So I don't need to move from where I am.
No, you can stay where you are. You got the range on that.
That's a 14.
14. I don't think that doesn't hit. They're wearing leather armor, so you again just the same crate next to him. Just another arrow pings into it.
Okay. Can I take my sneak attack now then, please?
No.
Can you take sneak attack?
Sneak
No,
attack's
he's very
added.
He's very aware of you.
If there's one of us next to it,
Okay.
you can add it on to.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I can't do anything now then, can I?
You can still move if you want to move
I
anywhere.
think
if you want to get into.
I'm going to stay where I am because I'm far enough away that I'm hopefully not going to get hurt. He said.
Okay. Mossy, you're up.
All right, I'll move into the room, just past Milady, and
Thank you.
I will twiddle my fingers a bit, and the moisture from my hands starts coalescing into sort of frosty sparkles, and I'm going to throw this snowy dust at the closest one, and it's going to have to take a Constitution save.
Oh dear. What are you casting on them?
Frostbite.
Frostbite. Ooh, lovely. What's his con?
It's a DC
Oh, it's a
13.
Oh, and he gets no bonus to that. And he gets a 9.
Oh, so he takes. Let's see. Oh,
I'm just going to let you know, I
lovely.
have no idea what's going on.
1 point of
What just
cold
happened there?
damage,
Takes 1 point of cold damage.
but
okay.
he has disadvantage on his next weapon attack.
Right. Okay.
Good work.
Okay. So, just to explain, Scarlet, con is
Thank you.
Constitution. So the spell that Mossy just cast is a chill touch spell. Basically, casts people in ice. When you have to do a Constitution saving throw, that is basically a rule to see how much of it you can resist.
Oh.
So the best analogy to give it for, like, if your character is drinking, you would use a Constitution roll to see how drunk you are, how hungover you get. It's basically how good you are at surviving the spell.
Oh, okay.
So some spells they have to resist, others you have to throw at them.
Right, got you.
So ones they have to resist will hit them regardless, but it's whether it does damage or not. So
does that say at the end? Where does it say whether that's a thing?
On the line of the spell, you've got name, time, range, and then it says hit or DC. So if it's to hit, it'll have like +2, or mine says con 13.
So so if you look on your spells, you've got Charm Person. That will always hit regardless, but the person you're attacking can throw a Wisdom save. If they get under 12, you charm them. If they get above 12, they aren't charmed.
Got you. Okay, thank you. That makes a lot more sense.
So Mossy hit him for 1 damage. Anything else for your turn? You have some movement left, I think.
No, I'm going to stay there close enough to have to heal these if they get into too much shenanigans.
Oh, shenanigans are abound, my friend. Shenanigans are abound. Right, okay, well now it is the 5 goblins' turn, and we're going to start with the one that Leo has managed to successfully not hit completely. And he is going to move up next to Leo, and he is going to take a swing at you.
But he has disadvantage.
With his scimitar, but he is at disadvantage. So, what is that to hit? Okay, so roll once, that's a 17, but then roll again. And he got an 8 plus 4, so 12.
Not going to make it, I'm afraid. I could beat 13.
No, you're... Oh, so he runs up, and he kind of swings at you, and you just kind of like elegantly just step back a very little bit and just past your face. And he kind of at you. And that'll be the end of his turn. So then we move on to the goblin that was next to him. He's going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and he's going to take a swipe at Mossy. And this one is not disadvantaged. And he's going to do a scimitar attack for a natural 20.
Oh.
And that is
a hit.
That is a hit, yeah, and that is 1d6 plus 2 slashing damage.
So do a sneak attack on that guy now he stood next to you then?
On your go,
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, because you're critical, it's 2d6 plus the modifier.
Oh, yes. And that is 13.
Ouch.
So he just runs straight up to you and just stabs you in the chest.
Ooh! No. Blimey, governor. Oh.
His kind of teeth chattering. Stupid humans, or whatever the hell you are. And then next we have the third to the back one. Hang on, how many did I put in there?
5, 6, 7.
I was going to say there's 6 there.
It was only 1. You only said 1. You said 1.
I think you had 2, one on top of the other.
Yeah, that'll explain it. Okay, there were 5, so we've deleted one of them.
Yay!
Yeah, magic. Okay, so there's another one going to come to Leo because he can't run up any further to get towards Mossy, and he is going to roll to attack. And he gets a 9, so that's going to miss.
Phew.
And then we're going to
Very quick question again. What tells you if they miss or they hit?
So that is your armor class.
Oh.
So you have to roll above the armor class.
Right, okay.
You've got quite a high armor class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
So-
that just sets me all over, really, doesn't it?
So the one that's furthest away. So this is the one that that Scarlet hit with the firebolt. Is going to pull out his short bow and aim at Scarlet.
That bastard.
I know, right? He's such a dick.
Such a dick.
And he scores a 11. So that's going to miss. So you're just stood there lighting another cigarette and straight into the wall next to you. And you don't even bother with it. You don't care. Just here.
No.
And then the final goblin is going to take a... In fact, he's going to run up here. 10, 15, 20, 25. So that uses all of his movement, and that's his go completely because he hasn't got space. He's not going to play a short, he's just brandishing his scimitar and trying to look threatening. And Mortimer, it is now your turn for the professional.
So Mortimer will move into the doorway where he can see past everybody, and he's going to draw out his rapier.
Yes.
He's going to look at the one that's already looks a little bit sort of chilled, frosted, has a nice rime and a frost on him from where Mossy hit him. He's going to
that one.
gesture at him with his rapier, look at him with sort of a slight look of distaste and go, "Good lord, even for a goblin you're ugly." And cast Vicious...
Say that to my face.
I think he just did. And cast Vicious Mockery. That is a DC 14 is it Wisdom save? Yeah, Wisdom save.
Wisdom. Oh, look at that. He's got a -1 on his wisdom. Someone's looked up what goblins are. And he got a natural 1.
Ooh.
Oh. So he got a -1.
He takes 4 points of psychic damage, and he has disadvantage on his next attack.
Oh, you bastard. Okay. Right. Okay, so the Vicious Mockery hits him. He just kind of, not nice. And he's very annoyed. Scarlet, it is now your turn. You're back on the top of the order.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just looking at what I've got to play with, really. I've got a poison spray, but I've got to get way too close to them.
Well,
So I mean, you are in range of the one that nearly killed Mossy.
Ooh, okay.
So you can use poison spray on him.
But you've got a con of 12, so that means...
So
it's a save.
So that's a save one. So if you want to use poison spray, so you hold up your hand, and just this kind of green miasma kind of leaves your fingertips and kind of fires towards this goblin, and he needs to roll. He's got nothing on his con. So was it a 12? Is it
12?
12. He got his 6. So how much damage does that do?
D12.
1d12.
Yeah. Okay, so roll me a d12, which is the kind of that one, which doesn't help over a webcam. It's the one with 12 sides.
1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that's 8. 1, 2. Right, I got a 12. Right, okay, off I go.
So roll a d12.
I got an 8.
An 8. So the poison that you emit just courses into his nose, all the way into his brain, and you see his skin start to fester and rot, and he tries to scream, but the sound doesn't come out because his lungs are being destroyed as he dies. And he just kind of collapses to the ground in a bit of a wet mess.
I'll tap my cigarette out on him.
I would hardly call you a lady with smells like that coming out of you.
It's out my cigarette, darling. It's not on me.
Do you want to move, or are you happy where you are?
I'm happy at the back, darling. Just leave me there.
Okay, Leo, you're up. Can we hit something this time?
Yeah, I'm going to try and hit the one that I failed to hit repeatedly.
Should it be this one here?
Yeah, given that he's right next to me, I'm going to use my...
Actually, no, sorry, it's this one. I should have different pictures.
I'm going to use my rapier.
Use your rapier, yep.
That's a 23.
Oh, yeah, that definitely hits that
one.
That definitely hits. So roll me some of that sweet, sweet damage.
5 damage, please.
5 damage. Excellent. So you pull your rapier out, and you just... What do you do? Are you stabbing him? Are you slashing him? How are you attacking?
Stab. It's going to be a pokey pokey jab.
Oh, a pokey pokey jab. You stab him just straight in the gut, and there's a little spurt of blood comes out. Like, you feel like you've hit something important there. But he doesn't go down, and he's kind of like... He's holding onto the blade, and he's in pain. He's like, "I'll regret that." And he's kind of... He's not well at all. He is very, very hurt.
Okay. Is it worth me dashing away, or shall I just stay put? Because I'm kind of surrounded at the moment, and I'm quite squishy.
Well, if you run away...
If you moved across the two that are next to him, they would get attacks of opportunity as you run past.
Unless,
case...
as a rogue, you use your bonus action to disengage.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You can do that.
I will disengage, please.
Whoa.
And where are you moving to?
The top left corner of the map, as we're looking at it. Thank you.
Right, okay, so you move here just across from Mossy. Mossy's looking a bit unwell, as it is now his turn.
Ooh, that did smart. Not happy with that. I think I'm going to try and chill them again. And I sort of throw this icy dust at... any of them looking particularly weaker than others?
Yeah, this is the one that Leo just stabbed. As he's incredibly injured right now.
The one that's been needled nicely with a rapier, I'm going to give it a bit of frostbite.
And that is a Constitution saving again, yeah?
That is of 13.
13. And he gets an 11.
Hey.
So the ice crawls along the ground faster and faster and faster, and it just reaches right up to him, and just the frost gets him, and he can't breathe anymore. Like, it doesn't quite reach his face, but it kind of closes over his throat, and he just falls back, and the dust shatters around him, and he falls to the ground dead.
That's more like it.
Well done, Mossy.
Good work, Mossy.
So we have 3 of them left, and it is now their turns, unless Mossy needs to move anywhere.
Well, as much as I'd like to move and let them poke at my lady here, she'd complain too much, so I'll stay here.
Excellent. So the next goblin remaining is going to move towards Mortimer, and he's going to take a swipe with his scimitar. And that is 2 hits plus 4. That is 23.
Yeah, that hits.
Is that the one that had the
Oh shit, no, that's the one in
mockery?
disadvantage, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucked. Okay, 2 seconds. And he got a 16 the second time.
Still hits.
Still hits. Nice try. That's 1d6 plus 2. So he comes up to you and he swipes left across your chest, and he does 5 damage to you. And he just it's a wide sweeping strike. It doesn't hit you particularly hard, but it does catch across your chest. And then the next one is the one with the bow. He's going to move a little further forward, but he's going to take a shot at Leo this time with his longbow. So he's just seen the amount of damage you've done to his compatriot, and he's not happy about it, and he doesn't want it to happen to him. So that is short bow, rather, not longbow. And that is a 10. So that doesn't hit you at all, does it?
Ooh, no, 13 to beat.
So again, as you're kind of like in the corner, you're kind of catching your breath, and like an arrow just kind of flicks past your ear and bounces off the wall. That's the end of his turn. Then we have 1 remaining. So he's going to come up and he's going to move next to Mossy, and he's going to take another go at him with his scimitar. And he gets an 11.
Arr! I swish out of the way.
like all moss does.
Like all moss and water.
He swipes and he kind of growls at you, and it's now Mortimer's turn.
Mortimer looks at the one who just stabbed him, sort of frowns at him and goes, "My word, I've met kobolds that stabbed harder than that," and yet again casts Vicious Mockery. Another wisdom save, DC 14.
14, he gets a 7.
And he does 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage.
And again, disadvantage.
And disadvantage. Excellent. Back to the top of the turn order, Scarlet.
So I've, during all that, had a little look at a plan.
Uh-oh.
I've got a suggestion.
Okay.
So it says that I can use it within 30 feet.
Right.
Which I am within.
Yes.
So I'm going to suggest, because it says on here that you can influence a creature you can see within range, hear and understand you. Oh, I don't speak. I don't speak. What are we battling? Goblins. I don't speak goblin.
Well, goblins do speak common, so they'll be able to understand you.
So it says here I can ask the creature to stab itself, throw itself onto a spear, or do some obviously harmful acts to end the spell. So could I get it to stab the other one?
I like it. Sure. What is it? Wisdom saving throw. And they have
very low wisdom, I understand. Is that
they have
right?
-1 to their wisdom.
Fantastic. Let's go for it.
And and he gets a 5, so that's a 4. So, in character, suggest to this goblin what he is to do.
Your goblin friend has shagged your wife. So, we can do about it.
How dare he? Sorry, out of the two of them, which one did you suggest? The one next to Mossy or the one next to Mortimer?
Well, as much as I'm a bit of a bitch, I quite like Mossy, so I'm going to say the one next to Mossy, the one that's closest to Mossy, I want him to die first.
Right, okay, so you
suggest... don't let Mossy know that.
Okay, so let's roll that, and that is 16, that hits. And what is the damage to do on that again? That is 1d6 plus 2. Actually, no, he's disadvantaged on that though, isn't he?
Yes.
That's the one that was vicious mockery, so it might not come out. No, it still hits. It still hits. Got a 15 on the second one. So that is 1d6 plus 2. And he got a 6. So he just kind of turns to, "What did you do?" And he stabs him straight in the side of the head, and he just drops dead.
Fantastic. Here is done.
Okay. Got it. That's creative. I like it. Leo, you're up.
Okay. Can I now do my sneak attack on the one that stood in front of Mortimer?
Yes.
Okay. So I've got to roll to hit first of all, haven't I?
Yes.
That is 19.
That hits.
Okay, so 2d6.
It's 2d6 plus your normal damage as well.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
a bonus.
2d6 plus my normal damage from the short bow.
Yeah.
So that's 6 plus 5 for 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. So you fire your arrow, and you're not really sure how the physics of this work, but as soon as that arrow just pierces into the chest of this this goblin, it kind of explodes backwards, as if it's been hit by a bomb, because you've massively overkilled it. And just he's immediately obliterated with the thought, without any thought or any consequence.
Fantastic.
The remaining goblin kind of like stands there and just realizes that this singular turn has wiped out pretty much most of his compatriots. He runs away.
Can I try and shoot him before he runs away? Because I still have my regular attack left and he's in range.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can try.
Okay. So I got to roll to hit first of all, haven't I?
Yes.
10.
No, that doesn't hit. So the arrow kind of clatters off the ground as he kind of runs out of the cave door, and you are left in a room where there's a bit of blood and a bit of detritus now, but you've successfully dispatched all of them, and you are out of initiative now.
Hey, well done, everybody.
Fantastic. Well done, everyone. That was all me.
Mossy, are you okay? Can we help you out at all there?
Well, it depends. I can sort myself out. Are we... Oh, I wouldn't mind having a sit down for a bit.
Okay, well, while Mossy has a sit down, I'm gonna start looking on the bodies of the goblins we just killed.
Okay, if you want to expel any hit die, you can count this as a short rest while we're kind of investigating this room.
I'm going to offer Mossy a cigarette. Be a nice person.
Okay, do you want to roll an investigation check there, Leo?
Sure thing. Investigation.
I will help Leo with his investigation.
A 10.
Okay, do you roll anything to help? I haven't used help actions
he has
before.
advantage, so he can roll again.
Oh yeah, roll again.
Thank you. 13.
13. As you kind of wander around, you're kind of like looking through what's left of the goblins that you've killed and some of the boxes. You find a handful of kind of bits of not very expensive jewelry, but it's still jewelry. It's still gold that can be sold. A couple of non-magical rings, some earrings, a few gold coins, and a few silver and copper coins. It seems that your original thought was right, that this place has been thoroughly pillaged.
Okay, well, I'm terribly sorry, everybody. I made us have a fight for nothing. It seems that they just had a small amount of treasure on them, but nothing worthwhile.
Any gold is gold.
Okay, excellent. So, does anyone want to do anything else in here?
Mortimer's going to start going through the boxes and just checking to make sure that the goblins didn't miss anything.
Okay, so roll an investigation check for me.
is an 11.
An 11. You find a dagger. It's slightly ornate, but it's just it's nothing special about it, just a decorated dagger.
Mortimer slips it into his belt.
I rub some poultices on my wounds and sort of expend 2 hit die to heal myself up.
Excellent.
Hang on, what did you do there?
On a short rest, as we're level 3, we have 3 hit die that we can heal ourselves with.
Can you heal others with?
Not with your hit die. I can heal others with magic, but you can use your own hit dice to heal yourself up.
I didn't get hit, so...
Yeah, you're fine.
I was nice enough to stand in their way.
Good man, Mossy.
Good man, Mossy.
Excellent. So, you all kind of take maybe half an hour or so. You kind of sort yourselves out, dust yourselves down, bandage up any wounds. You've kind of checked over all the boxes, all the crates, and all the corpses, and you've kind of found about anything that's worth noting of in here. Your options are you can just fuck off and leave, or you can head back down the other pathway.
Back down the other way then, I guess.
Well, we've still got at least a few parts of the rod, this ring, and this fancy vase.
I agree.
We have a job to do. We'd best get on with it.
Join us next week for part 2 of the Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep Listener One-Shot Special, where we'll find what lies in Saidro Goodson's chambers. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter at Scorched Sheep. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/modernescapism, where you can get early access ad-free listening to Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep. We'll see you next week for the thrilling conclusion to this one-shot. Good night.